Kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be...
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me,
Makes sense. She's a super important person.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. And Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide at present in Inazuma. In the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh...
See, milady, it's just like I said.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them.
I'm sure you'll do great.
told us about.
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Ah, you must also be. Teijima has protected this place ever since he arrived here, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between. But now, all of a sudden, we will gladly apologize if that's the case.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Teijima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times. And that, truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
What?
We can't let him leave while he's in...
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. You must be Teijima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, true. But that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like in the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back.
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Teijima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary?
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Teijima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Teijima's situation.
This looks like Teijima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up, and today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was... I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my Now that's the kind of info we're looking for! Time to pay a visit to the shrine! So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of...
Verdict is... Ha! Somewhere that Tejima visited a lot. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly... Still, over the years... And how could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, no, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? When I think about it like that, how curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with... I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, that certainly explains the state. At least we were able to help him. Well... According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforce. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation!
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions!
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps this is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and in the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But my own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse, that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. What?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, to top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why, if you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Huh. You see, but we better confirm. Let's go round up those. We should be able to follow their tracks.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and...
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Another test subject. I got careless. The wrong test.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside? Was it...
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them, and they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this missile. As for you guys, you're free to go.
Yes, so we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Naganohara's fireworks are the best in Inazuma.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debt.
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have... Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than...
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own and no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complain.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face... if you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you... I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is all. Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we have.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa. What are you doing?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency...
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, this sword was one I remember once when I was young. I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should..."
Hey! If you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use of virtue and justice? The Tenryou Commission seized my vision. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't...
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just...
disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. But if I'm honest, I still have...
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine, so don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing just now, when Nanako was attending to him. When she asked him who the people were, it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantic. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is... Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after... Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha!
How did... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few...
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the question, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news?
I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Well,
Anzai. Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster. Studying Make-Yoshi Sui art, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift progress. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who he was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could
sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Make-Yoshi Sui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down though, I still respect. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought, so you see, I came here not to... Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring...